Hi folks, it's time for another episode of our baby boxes. So last month we got our box, we decorated it with the ribbon and measured our babies and wrote a message of love on the ribbon. Now this month we're going to do our baby's footprints. So we'll need a few things to get started. You'll need your baby. You'll need your sponge brush, your paint, your canvas, and I'd recommend having a marker or a pen to write with as well. And whenever you do arts and crafts with your baby, one of the most important things is to remember how you're going to clean up. So try to get cloths, spray bottles, soap water, anything like that ready before you start your art, because when baby's done, they're done pretty quickly, and sometimes you don't want to be running around and getting all of those things ready while baby is, super duper done doing this activity. So Paul is going to help me out today. We're going to do Paul's footprint. So I have my paint open. I'm going to pour just a little bit onto a dish or a palette. There. Just need a little bit, especially for Paul. He has very small feet. I'm going to take my sponge brush. I'm just going to sponge on a little bit. You really don't want to use too much. If you use a lot, it's just going to look like a big glob of paint. So I'll lightly brush on some paint onto their toes. Now, Paul is very cooperative. If your baby is slightly less cooperative, try putting them in a high chair. You can put them in with a snack if they're at snacking age, or if they're too little, try lying them down on the ground and play with their tummy and stroke their hair while you paint their feet. Now that I have a nice light coat of paint on Paul's foot, I'm going to bring the canvas up to his foot, and I'm going to move the canvas around his foot to get all of those toes. There. Now I have Paul's footprint. Now, since I have my exit strategy already ready, I'm going to spray my paper towel and gently wipe off the extra paint. There you go. We'll do the little piggies. This little piggy went to market. This little piggy stayed home. This little piggy had roast beef. This little piggy had none. And this little piggy went wee, all the way home. Do your babies like that one? My 1.5-year-old loves it. And then she'll keep pointing to her other foot like, come on, it's this one's turn now. So now I have my footprint on the canvas. I'm going to write Paul's age. So I'm going to write his name. There's Paul. And how old are you, Paul? Let's say you're 6 months old. And how about I write one of your favorite things? So Paul loves songs. There. Now I have this lovely memory of the time when Paul's foot was just this size, his age, name, and something he loves. And I'll add that to my baby box. There we go. Now you're all set. Now, if you're feeling adventurous, you can let baby play with this paint too. I wouldn't recommend letting them eat it, but it is non-toxic. So if they do get it in their mouths, it shouldn't cause any kind of damage. And it is washable, but it might stain clothes. So I would recommend getting them naked, putting them in a high chair. Just put a little bit of paint on the high chair in front of them and let them explore. Let them get it in their fingers and feel the texture. Let them spread it around and see how it moves. And use those descriptive words while you're playing with them too. Talk about the color of the paint, how it feels in your fingers, and how it looks on the page. Does it make a sound? Does it go like a swishing sound when you move it around? There's so much we can talk about. And babies are little sponges, and they're absorbing all of that information. Thank you so much for joining Paul and I for this episode of Keepsake Boxes for Babies, and we'll see you again next month. Bye now.